They are a subset or a branch of community policing, but community policing is much more wider than the men in uniform, but also includes men who are not in uniform, men who just once in a while volunteer to do one or two things with the security agencies, men who support the security agencies, men who wish the security agencies well, and the likes.
Okay. Now you've been able to clarify a bit of misconceptions about community policing. So now let's look at Lagos as, I don't want to call it complex, a state with over 20 million people, some even say 22 million people. How important is community policing to this overall security architecture of the state?
You know, working or partnering with all the security agencies require that you understand which security agencies do you have in Lagos. And that is where we look at what we call the architecture of the security agencies in Lagos. We have some agencies that are federal-owned security agencies. We have some that are state-owned security agencies. We have some that are voluntary youth organizations.
Okay.
We have some that are vigilante groups. Okay. We have some that are private security outfits. And in recent times, we are now having those who we call the bouncers, who are not yet regulated, but also trying to come into the security system as a block, as a body. Okay. So those are different categories of people, different roles, and different places of collaborations and interactions. So one must be able to know where you fall into, what you do, where you fall into, how you work with every other security agency, because intelligence has to be shared at a center table, and whoever is not on that table is not participating in the security of the states.
Okay. So when we're talking of community policing now, we'll say, or it will go with the popular saying of people that, you know, security is everyone's business. And since security is now everyone's business, how does that fit into what is going on across the country now?
You know, I used to let us understand that the men in uniform are not ghosts, and they are not everywhere, and they rely on the citizens to get their job done much more easily. You know, it's a different case to say you have an intel and it is not truly an intel. And it's a different case to say you have an intel and an in-house person is doing a good monitoring for you, giving you clearer updates. It makes your job easier. It makes curbing a crime much more easier. It makes you going out to pick your exact target and not doing random selection, not doing random targeting, or people will now say you are randomly profiling them. It gives you a clearer picture of where you are going. And that is why the citizens have to play a very serious role in the security of this nation. We are seeing the trends of various threats coming up in different parts of the country, and they are seriously burdening, mind-burdening. At times you wonder how it happens. Or at times you wonder how such magnitude of things move, and you tell me nobody saw anything, just because everybody feels they should keep quiet. And that is just a case of some of those school kidnapping and children kidnapping. When you look at the volume of people that were moved, you will understand that they could not be moved just on one bike. It's either there are multiple bikes, there are multiple vehicles involved, and people around me will now be telling me, or around such communities will now be telling you as if they disappeared from that point. It is impossible. So people saw some people moving. Some people saw something they could pick on, but they decided to share away, to look away, not to pay attention to it, not to help the security agencies. And that is why it is looking a bit tighter. Even I would say the movement of terrorist group in the forest, before they get to certain stages in the forest, at least a farmer would have entered his farm and see some footpaths that are not regular. We'll see some things that look strange. But if you had informed the security agencies, worked with them, cooperate with them, that is where community policing comes in.
What if there's no awareness for such people, or they just ignore?
I would say you don't just ignore things, because if you think the attitude is to ignore, you might eventually become a culprit in a crime. You ignore the movement of some criminals who, while trying to escape, drop some weapons in your compound. You did not quickly know that they had dropped weapons in your compound. But because you ignored their movement, you saw their movement, you were like, nothing happened. The day the security agencies now trace those weapons to your compound, that is when you now begin to say, it seems I saw them, but I thought they were passing. I didn't know they branch here. How did they look? I can't remember. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 3 weeks. So you've been harboring weapons, dangerous weapons in your compound for 2 or 3 weeks. And you are now trying to tell the security agencies. Then you now say the security agencies either profiling you wrongly or they are trying to frame you. While in actual fact, you had shied away from intelligence that you would have shared at the right time. 2 weeks is too long for criminals to vanish into the air.
Maybe, I want to come in here. Maybe most times it's not shying away. Maybe sometimes it's just fear. And you know, if I'm a whistleblower, what protection is there for me if they find out I did the whistleblowing?
Okay, if I would want to agree with fear, which personally I don't agree with, I'll say when you create fear, it is not the third party that creates fear, it is you that creates fear in yourself. And when you create such fear, there is most likelihood that you are putting yourself into a bigger risk. Because you who is today scared of giving intel does not know that the criminals, as they are moving, they are trying to disembark some things from them, things that will make them suspicious on the road. And you don't know whether it was in your compound or in your house or in your property that they have also dropped something. So instead of sharing the information, you are feeling you are scared, you don't want to share it. But when you eventually become a culprit in what you don't know, you eventually talk what you didn't see. Because at that time, you know, when people get under pressure of interrogation, they usually say things they didn't see at times, which is normal. So I'll say it's not just fear. If you think whistleblowing is a problem, I used to say it, I'll say in this country today, I didn't know 10 years ago, or I wouldn't guarantee you 10 years ago, but in this year, 2026, last year, 2025, if you whistleblow and you tell me that you were unveiled by somebody, I'm very sure heads will roll, not one head. The person that leaks your information will also go with it. And a lot of people in the line of command might also suffer that leak of information. So I do tell us that let us feel free to share information with our security agencies. If you feel it is too hard for you, it is too hard, just move to any of the closest police station. In front of the police station, just look on the wall. You'll most likely find the number of the DPO. In recent times, they are also adding the number of the the Commissioner of Police to the numbers you see on the wall there. Send your report. I used to tell us, send comprehensive reports. Give details, all the details you can get in your head. Put them down, send it. Those numbers are available on WhatsApp, and they are also available for normal SMS. They are available for calls, that is the funniest thing, and also feel free to give them voice note. Even if you need to be giving them updates, give them updates. Let me tell you, those numbers might be busy at times, but once you drop an update, flash the number. I am telling you that your updates will be picked as fast as possible. And the fact is, you'll be helping the entire community, not just your neighbor, which you might not even know that the criminals you thought were burgling your neighbor's compound might have started from your own compound before they entered the neighbor's compound. Or it might be when they leave the neighbor's compound and you were trying to sleep under your bed, thinking you wanted to hide. Your room might be the next place they'll be coming in. So it is better you blow the whistle on time so that a criminal that doesn't escape or that you don't make escape will not eventually come back to your own compound to commit havoc. So I used to tell us whistleblowing now is a bit safer or much more safer. Once you can send your information to those numbers, those are usually the heads of those agencies, either the DPO, the head of that station, you know who you sent your details to. So if it leaks, we know who to hold. And that is why those people will not put their career, 30 years in service, on the line for one unnecessary issue. I am very sure they will not put their career on the line.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because for the whistleblowers and reporting or calling on the police, there's also, again, trust issues, but that is a conversation for another day. Yeah, so let's look at how citizens can now be vigilant or be more security conscious and not taking, laws into their hands when trying to community police. Yes.
Okay, I will call it citizens and jungle justice. / mental health issues. You know, I want to make it that way because I would say most of the information we see on our social media, especially our WhatsApp, which looks closer to us, is making us profile people wrongly. I want to use that word, profile people wrongly. And profiling people wrongly means when anybody sees any Hausa man, the next thing you hear somebody say, Aboki, somebody will say, Boko Haram. As if all Hausa men are what? Criminals.
Do you blame them?
I don't blame them, but I will blame them at the same time because as we get informations online, let us learn to sieve them, filter them.
True.
Let us put ourselves in a good state of mind.
I agree with you on that.
Else, our best friend will become our enemy.
True, yeah.
Our best helper will become someone we'll be scared of. Because of what? He has not done anything wrong. But because we have decided to profile our best helper wrongly. Just because of a wrong information you saw online. Even if it were to be right. Because someone comes from my own family and is tagged a criminal, does not mean everybody in my family is a criminal. So when you now, because it comes from that race, and you tag the entire race criminal, you have profiled the complete race wrongly. And that might be where your helper is. And you are praying for your helper, begging God every day, God, let me meet my helper. Now you have met your helper, and you have profiled the helper wrongly.
Okay.
So don't let us let information we see in certain places make us profile people wrongly. Let us undo those informations as singular informations for singular things. And that is where the issue of jungle justice comes in. In most cases, where you see jungle justice happen is where people profile people wrongly. Because they think this person is a scavenger or this person is an aboki. The next thing is they want to hold him as a criminal. They want to deal with him as a criminal. You have not established any facts. You don't have any facts. When you are now put in front of the law for involving yourself in jungle justice, you now begin to go back and forth. Like, no, they said he's a criminal. I was not the only one there. But don't know, they just note that you were the one caught. Or you were the one that your picture was seen. Or your video was seen.
There has been a court.
So you have now become a culprit in a wrong case. So please, I want to appeal to the entire citizens of this country. Jungle justice is not a way to go. If you don't have any facts, you have not established any facts, please don't move into giving selective judgments, wrong profiling to judge people wrongly. It's not good. If we are the one to be profiled wrong as well, you will also feel the pain. You know how it is to walk into a new environment, not knowing anything about what is happening, and to be called the criminal.
Okay,
you will feel very, very bad.
Very
so
bad, yeah.
that is just how it is
so
for
let's
them
look
as
at
well.
Lagos State government and what they're doing in contributing to community policing. Let's look at the Lagos State Neighborhood Safety Corps. Thank you. I was almost calling them security corps. Let's look at them. How has that agency, contributed to supporting community policing here in Lagos?
Yes, I want to say special kudos to Lagos for setting up the Lagos State Neighborhood Safety Corps. It has been a corps that has been in existence now for, let's say, close to 20 years. And they've been improving in the deployment of their men, in the training of their men, in their activities, and very good in recent times. We are seeing them surface at uninvited gatherings. Uninvited gatherings. Don't worry, I use that word.
Why are they showing up at
you would personally be planning a party. You will feel you only want to relate with the police, and you just see the men from the neighborhood safety corps come in and be on standby. You will be going for church service. Normally, we just go in. It's only the security or the gate man at our church that is usually there. And you come in on Sunday, and you realize since the last 3 months, they've been deploying 4 men to our church. The same thing applies to a lot of mosques. The same thing applies to a lot of events.
Okay.
They've been featuring in places that people need security, but they didn't know they were supposed to reach out to them. And they came in as backup, ready to provide safety and security to everyone there. They've been appearing in schools like, when they say like miracle, you just see them appear in this school today, in that school tomorrow. we are now seeing their job we are seeing their men and their job much more active. We are seeing them not just as employees of the state, but as people participating actively in the security of the state. So it's a very nice initiative that the Neighborhood Safety Corps has now set up a lot of departments.
Okay.
I think that is what is really making them function much more. So each department is trying to ensure that the men on the field go out, get reports, get updates, and come back to feed each department of their own updates, which is now making men on the field not just men that will go and sit under one bridge and sleep from morning to evening, but they are now men that we see moving from pillar to post.
I talked about trust earlier, which is a different conversation, but I'm going to bring it up now because trust is is a foundation of effective community policing. How would you describe the current level of trust between residents and security agencies in Lagos, especially the Nigerian police force?
Okay, the truth is, globally, there is always an issue of trust within residents and security agencies. The Nigerian police force is just fortunate to be the center stage of every trust issue in Nigeria, simply because they are the center stage of every security issue in the country. When there is any security issue, even if other security agencies or other partner agencies were involved, the official person to make the official statement is who?
Is a
policeman.
Yeah.
So when you come to meet the policeman as a knower of all, and the PPRO is telling you, please give me 24 hours to give you updates,
okay,
you'll be feeling like, are you not supposed to be hearing noise from all the 57 local governments simultaneously? And you understand why when I say noise. Live updates from all the 57 simultaneously. It's almost impossible for anybody to hear that update. She has to take her time, or he has to take her time to listen to them one after the other, get updates from those who they should get updates from before giving out information. That is one area where people used to have trust with the policemen. Another area is infractions by some of the men on the road. The truth is, you can't control an organization of over 30,000 people and you see all the 30,000 will be upright. Once in a while, 1, 2, 3 persons will do things that are against the standards of the organization. But when we now use the actions of 1, 2, 3 persons to judge the entire organization, we've also profiled the organization wrongly. That is where we also have trust issues with the security agencies. Because the truth is, for so many people that tell you they have trust issues with the police, when they move closer, whether in the process of reporting even their trust issue, and they meet some much more senior security officers who also introduce them to some younger officers who work to clear out their case, they will tell you they are very, very brilliant, wonderful people in the police. The same person that yesterday told you that the police is red, is painted red, is now telling you they are brilliant, wonderful people in the police. But one thing I always dislike about how people manage it, the day they will tell you that the police is red, they will make very big noise. The day they will now tell you that they are wonderful and brilliant people in the police, they will not go back to that source
and
where
say,
they made that big noise
to
go and make a big noise that, yes, they are wonderful and brilliant people in the police. That complaint I complained, though, they have solved it so much that I'm even happier than the complaint I complained. You know, when you're happier than your complaint, meaning that you've gotten the best solution to whatever might have happened. And they will not go back there to make that noise. That is where I usually get annoyed with people. When you have grievances and you've expressed it to a source, go back to that source and express whatever the update is at the end of the day. But you know, when we now use such informations, we hear the big noise when it was bad. When it is now good, they make it a very small sound, not even a noise. So people will now eventually profile wrongly because of the information at their disposal. And Yoruba used to say one funny adage. They will say the ear that hears the going should also hear when it's coming, though. Not that when it's going, you will hear. When it's now coming, they will not tell you again.
I know that proverb in Yoruba. I just cannot finish it. Eti to bagbo.
Alo.
What's
no.
Okay,
Okay. So that's just it.
Okay. We're still talking about trust. So what needs to be done, you know, is it by the government or by the security agencies for residents to, begin to have a bit of trust in the security agencies?
Trust in the security agencies is a function of two major people, the people and the security agencies. The side of the people is where I first started from. When you make the bad noise, when the case is resolved, go back there and make the good noise. Because if you don't go back there and make the good noise, what people will continue to see in front of them is the bad noise.
Okay.
And you know how funny the bad noise is. What happened today? Someone 2 years after is still seeing the bad noise. And will now go and check your hand. Did you do anything to make a rejoinder or to clear this matter? This matter was not cleared. Those people are bad. That is why the matter still remains that way. That is the side of the people.
The people. What
On
about
the
the
side
side
of
of
the
the
security
security
agencies,
agencies, yeah?
I'll say, in actual fact, for the police, they are doing a lot. On a monthly basis in every local government, there's usually an engagement with the leadership of the local government, with the community stakeholders. And when we say community stakeholders, they pick different stakeholders per different month to engage. So it's like the police is talking every month, trying to ensure that people get closer to them, people know what they are doing, people know who they can approach. But it is now for the residents not to always follow the one bad news, but also to look at the person coming to talk to you. When somebody tells you, this drug killed my son, not knowing that he used a malaria drug for headache. And you now get someone meet you and tell you that this drug is for malaria, not for headache. I don't know whether it gets me. You are now saying, no, that drug is just a bad drug. That is just the summary. You should understand that because we have one bad experience does not mean we would write them off. And the truth is, if I will make one very funny joke, I will say, let the government pull out all security agencies from the streets for 24 hours and see what your community will look like. They will collect everything you have. In short, even your clothes, they will collect it before you get home. That is the reality. So the presence of those men on the streets makes the streets much more safer, and that is what makes us go out, come in, do everything normally. When they are not on the street, even you that want to organize a party will know that there is a problem with organizing a party, because there is nobody to guard your party, to protect your party. Not to say when you want to do your work normally, you will now see your moneyless. And they will, you will say you want to build your house, and your moneyless will be the one in charge of your house. You will now see that there is no, there will be no handing to your moneyless. When some go on Monday, another batch will come on Tuesday. When you will try to sort those ones, another batch will come on Wednesday. With time, you will eventually give up. Even for people running businesses, you see that your business will become ungovernable, because at times some of your staffs are people who have crooked minds, who also want to dupe you. But because they know you can report them to security agencies, let us just do our work in peace and walk away. But when they see that there is nobody to hold them, you will see that the states will be upside down. So the truth is, the presence of those men is very, very, very important.
Thanks one from you there, Lookman. My concern is still about Lagos and the growing population and security risks today, kidnapping. We don't hear so much of cults, clashes like before, especially in the Ikorodu, Mushin area. I think that has calmed down, a bit. Is community policing, evolving or enough to surmount these new threats that we are getting, which is kidnapping and banditry?
Yes, I would say community policing is enough to surmount some of those threats. Yes, I'm happy that you are now realizing that some of those crimes that are prevalent in some areas,
because we don't get it in the news anymore.
It's not because we don't get it on the news anymore. When you don't get it on the news, you have friends who will always tell you, don't come to my area, I can't go.
Yeah, true.
Those friends are not telling you again, don't come to my area. They are not telling you again, I can't go.
I can't go out.
That means that the security agencies covering that area are doing wonderful jobs. And, when the security agencies do their job rightly, it eventually discourages crime. Nobody wants to go behind bars for months for committing a crime. The truth is, even among those who you call cultists, none of them wants to die. So when they are attacking one another and killing one another, none of them even wants to die in the first case. So when they now see someone tell them, see, if you do this, you get into trouble. Don't risk your life at this or that. You will come to realize that yes, most of those things will come down. And none of them wants to go to the Nigerian courts where your case might be in court for the next 4 years. And you know, whether you are proved innocent even after 4 years, you have first spent 4 years under a very tough system. So nobody wants to involved in that. And that is the fact that security agencies are doing their job. Criminals are realizing that they can't commit crime and go scot-free. And that is just why that is that way. However, if we want to look at it from the angle of community policing, the job of those security agencies could not have been successful if not for people in the community identifying some of those criminals, identifying their hideouts, identifying their bases, giving security agencies updates every Monday. They will come and drink beer here at 2 a.m. I don't know whether you get me.
I understand.
Because security agencies, they are not spirits. Those working there are not spirits. They need our interaction. They need our intel. They need little information from us. These people will be here every Tuesday. They will come and drink this. So usually from there, we can identify, okay, who are those that come there to drink every Tuesday? What do they do? Most likely, the security agencies will not just bust in. Who are they? Identify them. What do they do? Profile them. Try to do some behind-the-scene investigation before they now say, okay, is there need to pick 1, 2, 3 persons for interrogation? Is there need to do a searching of their houses or their properties? And from there, we could get a lot of things solved. But when everybody does as if you did not see anything happening, and in actual fact, you saw things happening, I used to give one very funny case, which still pains me till tomorrow, the Chibok girls case. I used to tell people that, how can you tell me that over 200 people were moved and everybody is trying to claim that you did not see anything? It is impossible. If you want to tell me that they came to use buses, even a bus as long as the Lagos BRT, they will come with 4 buses, if not more than 4 buses. Not to say if they were to use smaller vehicles to transport them, and everybody will be claiming very innocent, like you didn't see anything. The truth is, those criminals that you allowed to commit a crime and escape today, they are happy that they escaped. They will still come back again. But when they commit a crime,
they got away with
and you support the security agencies to bust them, to scatter their network, they will not be able to come back again. I would say half of them might have sustained injuries that for the rest of their life, when they see that injury and they see crime, they will go in away. Some of them might have lost their lives in the process, meaning that those people will not, there will be no point for them to even think of committing a crime again. But when we close our eyes and steer away from the crimes in our society, the crimes will go. So I used to beg Nigerians, please, when you see something, say something to the right people so that we can act rightly.
Thank you very much. Security is not the responsibility of those who just wear uniforms. It is a shared responsibility. It is everyone's business. Thank you very much, Lookman Enitan Aminu, Member State Community Policing Committee, and we've been discussing Lagos and the security architecture. We'll be right back after this short break.